Hey, what's up? It's always me, Johnny, and welcome to my new video. So, as you can see, I am still in Spain, but anyway, I will keep posting some videos. And this one will be a very quick video on some hidden feature and some very useful feature that I found on macOS. So if you have macOS and you are using a Mac, just keep watching this video because you can find some very useful little thing that could save you some time. So let's go right into the Mac because I am recording the screen on my MacBook Pro and let's see some of these features. So the first feature that I can show to you, it is a very simple one, but from time to time it could be very useful. And of course, you know that you can increase and decrease the brightness, for example, like this from the function buttons, or maybe you can increase or decrease the volume always from the function buttons. But did you know that you can increase or decrease these values by a very small amount by pressing Shift option and then the function button? So for example, I want to increase a little bit the brightness of my screen. I'm just gonna press Shift option plus, in my case, the F2 button that can increase my brightness, and you can see that it is increasing by a very small amount. So instead of this, that it increases by a fair amount of brightness, if I press and hold Shift option and the function key, you can see that it will increase or decrease by a very small amount. And the same stuff, you can do it with your volume, because just press the same buttons, so Shift option and then the volume buttons, you can see that it will increase by a very small amount. And I am using this every time. For example, if I have to use like my speakers and I don't want to be like very loud, so I can increase my volume just by a little bit and it will be very useful. Then you probably know that on Mac you can switch very easily between spaces like this by just scrolling sideways, we can say, with 3 fingers, and you can switch apps like this, for example. But did you know that you can do it also with your keyboard? So maybe if you are not used to the 3 fingers swipe, just use the option key on your keyboard and then use the arrow keys like left and right to switch between these apps. And sometimes this could be useful maybe if you are using an external mouse or maybe an external keyboard, so you're not using your MacBook like I am right now. But especially if you're not using your trackpad, it is very useful to switch between the app, like if you have a trackpad from the MacBook. This is of course if you're not using like the Magic Mouse, but in any other case, this shortcut could be very useful to switch between the apps. Or instead, just remember to press like Command and Tab and you can switch between the app like this. It is the same thing, but it is a little bit alternative. Then one feature that you have on these new MacBooks, and this one is only for MacBooks because I am talking about battery life. And if you want to save like a little bit of a battery life, you just go right here on the top on the battery icon and you can click battery preferences. Then you can see on the bottom, you can read like low power mode. And if you enable this, your MacBook will just enable sort of a power saving mode. It will run like a little bit slower, but if you are doing like light work or medium work, you will not notice that. But I can tell you that if you enable this feature on this new MacBook Pro, right here I have the M1 Pro, and at home I have also a MacBook Pro with the M1, so the standard one. These are all on the base version, and on the M1 version you cannot see some major difference also in battery life and in performance. But here on the M1 Pro you can see a very big difference on the performance, because if I am editing some videos, I can see a drop down of performance if I enable the low power mode. So keep that in mind, because yes, you are saving a lot of battery, maybe half an hour or an hour more of battery life. But if you are doing like heavy work, it is not worth it because you cannot work like in a very smooth way. So keep that in mind, but it is an option to enable or disable as you wish. Then another easy trick that you can do in Finder on your Mac to organize your files, your folders. Maybe if you are used more to a Windows kind of a file management, you can use Snap to Grid, and you can find it right here on the Finder. So you just click in an empty space with the right click, and then you can do like sort by, and you can see snap to grid, because if you enable this option, you can see that you cannot move anymore the folders or the files wherever you want, but they will snap to a grid actually. They will be much more organized, and especially if you are used to a Windows style of file management, as I said before, it could be more organized. Depends on how your habits are, but in this way you can be more organized. I don't use this too much because I usually do like sort by, and I will do it for name or maybe more often for kind, because I like to see my files and my folder for kind and also by name. But if I need some more organization, I can enable this snap to grid feature in any time that I want. Then the last feature that I want to show you, it's a very useful feature, but it is a very simple one. It is very useful if you are using especially the new MacBooks or maybe the 13 inches MacBook, because I am talking about the screen state. So you know that already with I have the 14 inches and at home I have the 13 inches. So I don't have that much of a screen state, but there is a little trick that can expand, we can say, this screen state, and you can go onto System Preferences, then you will go onto Displays, and onto Displays you just click on Scaled, and if you click more space, you will have actually more space on your screen because the icons and everything will be smaller, so you will have more space, especially in the menu bar on the top, because there is a notch in between. And for some apps or for some other things that you have, for some icons that you have on the top, maybe you will not have some space, but with this little trick you can have like a lot more space, and it will be very, very useful also for some apps, because like Photoshop or Premiere, you will have some more screen state. It can be very helpful a lot of time. And as I said before, it's a very simple trick, but you will have a lot of results in my opinion. Anyway, this was a very quick video, and those were some very quick feature and very useful hidden feature that you probably didn't know. If that was the case, let me know down below in the comments what was the most useful feature that you have learned right here, and if you didn't know one of those features. And also, if you did like this video, if you find it useful, just leave a like down below, because I mean, it's free, so why don't do it? And also, if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, just give it a try, just subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later, and it will be very much appreciated by me, of course. That being said, I think I will see you in my next video. So thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.